Dream CNC is a pretty obscure company that only ever made one Plants vs. Zombies plush set. And well, this was actually one of the first ever officially licensed Plants vs. Zombies plushes to be made. So yeah, with that said, welcome to a look at the Dream CNC Plants vs. Zombies plush set. And we're going to start off with the first plush in this set, which is the Sunflower. Now, every single plush in this set came in two sizes, either being a super big size or a really small size. And well, one thing with this plush set is they never made medium-sized plushes, so either you could get a really small plush or just a really big plush. And well, for the Dream CNC Sunflower plush, you could obviously tell that, well, it looks a lot like the World Max one. Because, well, it uses basically the exact same design and, well, even the exact same face. The only thing that's different is really like the colors are just slightly different. And well, the main reason for this probably is that, well, since they're both officially licensed, PopCap might have given them the same design to use to make their Plants vs. Zombies plushes. Or maybe World Max and Dream CNC just thought of the same design. Overall, it's just really weird that they decided to use the exact same design and PopCap still approved both of them. But yeah, the World Max one is technically more accurate though, because this Dream CNC one uses more of a orangish face. But still, overall, it's a pretty nice plush, and overall, it kind of looks more like a pillow than an actual plush. And well, the small one just looks as good. It's basically the plush, except, well, it's just smaller. And well, the face still looks really nice, even though it was very small and they had to put a lot of embroidery on a small spot. I think they did a pretty good job with it. And well, if you want this plush, you probably won't be able to get it because, well, there's only one documented owner of it, and that's of the big size. And basically every single small size of this plush is just a lot more rare than the original big size, as I don't think a single person owns any of the small sizes of these plushes. But yeah, best bet of finding any of these plushes are either on eBay or Zanu, but you have a very low chance of finding one. And now let's move on to the next plush instead, which is the Walnut. Now this Walnut plush is actually really good as well, but uses the correct colors to it, and they actually have a really good design on the face. And instead of the eyes just being stitched on like basically every other company, this one actually has like 3D-ish eyes, so yeah, it actually looks better the way they did it in my opinion, because, well, it just makes it look a lot better because, well, they really stuffed the eyes a lot more from the rest of the plush to make it stand out a little more. And well, when the eyebrows and mouth that they embroidered on, they did a good job with it, and overall it just looks really nice. They also did a good job stitching the plush together in the middle, so it creates this like weird wavy effect. Yeah, they obviously put a lot of work into this plush to make that effect look good, so yeah, they actually put a lot of work into this plush, which is actually a good thing because it shows that they actually cared about making these plushes. And well, the small size is actually worse in my opinion because, well, it uses embroidered on eyes, and also the 3D effect isn't really there because, well, it's just a small keychain, so they can't really do that on this one. But yeah, for this plush, there's not a single documented owner of it, so yeah, you have a very low chance of finding it, but you can either look on eBay or Zanu for it. And now let's move on to the Night plushes, starting off with the Sunshroom. Now, in terms of details, the Sunshroom plush is actually really good, but with the next plush in this set and this plush, there's one bad thing about them. Is that, well, the cap on top of them could actually just crush the plush entirely. Because, well, as you can see by a picture of the Fume Shroom plush, this exact thing could happen with the Sunshroom plush as well, because, well, since the top of it's so heavy, it could just crush down on the face and make it all wrinkled. Because, well, since these plushes are getting older and older, they're getting understuffed over the years, so yeah, the top of these plushes could actually come and, like, crush the bottom of them, which is actually a really bad thing about these plushes. Because you obviously don't want them to get all crushed and wrinkled looking, so yeah, that's one really bad thing about them, but besides that, they actually have a really good design to them. And well, this can't happen on the small sizes of the plushes because, well, they're just too small to have that even happen to them. But yeah, besides that one problem, the embroidery on it overall looks really nice and the design on it is just really good. And if it wasn't for the top of it crushing down on the bottom of it, I would actually recommend getting this plush because, well, the overall just looks really nice. But just like Walnut, I don't think there's even a documented owner of any of the designs of this plush, so yeah, if you do want the Sunshroom plush, you have a very low chance of finding it, but you could look on eBay or Zanu. And now moving on to probably the most common plush in this whole set, being the Fume Shroom. Now, as I said before, the top of the plush could come crashing down on the head, so yeah, that's obviously one really bad thing about this plush, but besides that, the rest of the plush is actually really nicely detailed. It's one of my favorite Fume Shroom designs. And well, Dream CNC did a great job designing these plushes because, well, but especially on the top of the Fume Shroom on the cat, they did a great job making the spots and then making them all look unique. And well, the face itself is nicely embroidered on, and they did a good job making the expression of Fume Shroom unlike other companies did. And overall, the shape of the Fume Shroom when it isn't crushed down with the top of it is actually just really good, and they actually did a great job with this plush. And well, the small size of it's also pretty good because, well, it uses basically the exact same design except it's just smaller, obviously. But yeah, out of any plush in the set, you do have the highest chance of finding this one because, well, there are 3 known owners of it. So yeah, if you do want any plush in the set, you probably have the highest chance of finding this one. You could look on eBay or Zanu for it. And now moving on to the next plush in the set, we have the Squash. Now, just like the Sunflower plushes said, this Squash plush closely resembles the World Max one, except it just has a few different details on it. First off, the expression on the face is slightly different. They did a different thing with the mouth, making it bigger. So yeah, that's basically the only really change of it though, because well, they all just look really similar. And well, I think Dream CNC did a great job designing this plush because well, they overall did a really good job making the plush look accurate and making it shaped very well. And well, the stem on the top is very nicely stuffed so it doesn't get all floppy, and it also has a weird green spot on the top of it, which I don't know why they just changed the color on the top of the stem instead of just keeping it the exact same color all around. And well, the smaller size of the plush looks very similar, but there's actually one small detail because well, instead of having a plush eyebrow, it actually has like an embroidered on one. And well, they obviously did this because it would be way too hard to design a small eyebrow like over the Squash's eyes on this one with a plush material, so yeah, they just did it with embroidery, which I think just looks as good. But yeah, this plush has one documented owner of it, so yeah, it's extremely rare and you have a very low chance of finding it, but you can look on eBay or Zanyu. And then moving on to the final plant plush in this set, we have the Jalapeno. Now this plush is actually very nicely shaped, and I think they did actually a really good job with it. As well, they did a great job making the eyes look 3D and also adding on the right eye and eyelid on it to make the expression look better on it, and I think they overall did a really good job with that. I also like the one embroidery on eyebrow, and also just the mouth on it overall looks really good. And the stem on this plush is also really good because well, it kind of wraps around the top of the plush, which overall looks really nice and is a really good detail to add by Dream CNC. And well, overall, this Jalapeno plush looks overall really high quality. It looks really nice, except it is extremely rare though, so you probably won't be able to get it. And on the smaller size of the Jalapeno, it's actually technically worse because, well, instead of having like plush eyes, it actually has embroidered on eyes, and basically everything just looks a little worse because the details are just more squished together because, well, but obviously it has to be a keychain. Because, well, overall, keychain plushes are just harder to make the details look nice on them because you have less space to work with on the plush. But yeah, this plush has to be one of the rarest in the whole set because I haven't even found any outside images from original Dream CNC's images. So yeah, this plush is extremely rare and you have a very low chance of finding it, but you could look on eBay or Zanyu for it. And now moving on to the final plush in the set, we have the zombie head. Now instead of just making a zombie plush, they actually just made the head of a zombie plush just like they did with the sunflower instead of making like an actual stem and everything. And well, I would actually say they did a really good job with this plush and making it look good. And well, another thing that I did notice with it is that it kind of resembles the World Max zombie's face. Because, well, if you get the World Max's basic zombie and put the faces next to each other, you can actually see that they look pretty similar. And once again, that's probably because PopCap gave them the same design choices for their plushes, so yeah, that's why a lot of these plushes just kind of look similar. But yeah, they overall did a really good job making the embroidery on it, and also using the eyes making out of a plush material. And well, out of every single plush in this set, there's really been no damageable details except for like Fume-Shroom and Sunshroom's caps. But yeah, it does have felt teeth which could get bent and damaged, but it's one of the only plushes in this set that could get damaged. As well, it seems that Dream CNC used pretty good materials on their plush, so it holds up well over the years. And it seems that they put a lot of care into making these plushes and making them look accurate. I think they did a really good job making the zombie plush's head shape and making it overall look really nice and stuffing it well. But yeah, the small size actually looks pretty good as well because, well, instead of using a plush material and everything, it uses embroidery, which still actually makes a really good job on it. And also the head shape is just as good as the big size version because, well, they just made it look really nice. But once again, just like other plushes in the set, there's 0 documented owners of it, so yeah, if you do want this plush, so you can look on eBay or Zanyu, but you have a very low chance of finding it. But yeah, which plush in this set is your favorite? Mine's probably the Fume-Shroom, but comment down below yours, and yeah, have a great day.